Now we're at $1,500. If you'll just talk to One Way and just buy these little slide things. See this little deal here? Just buy these. They're like 10 or 12 bucks a piece. And then you just take this and pull them out and just slide them back in and out. Got to make sure you do it right, but you won't do it wrong but one time. You know, there's marked 1, 2, 3, 4. Just line up your worm gear and stick them back in. You don't have to have 4 chucks and 4 these different jaws. And man, I get so tired of putting all them screws in. You're always going to lose one in the sawdust. Just buy these. This, you see what I'm talking about? Yeah. I don't know what they call that. It's like it's got the part of the worm gear. And then you just put these on so you can just have them, just slip them in and out. It's cheaper and they're always available. I'd take that off, but there is a little roll pin. You know, it's probably and when we're talking about safety, this is what I teach 4-H. This is what I make all my 4-H kids use. And we're not going to do that today. But you guys are worried about stuff flying off the lathe and hitting people and, you know, turning a piece of wood and sticking a piece of iron in the middle of it. This is really a good safety thing.
What is it?
I'll pass it around. This is a stub center, but it's as you get them and they're just a circle. That's not quite enough. It's not quite aggressive enough. Take a chainsaw file, take this and pop that out. Those sets you're here. Take a chainsaw file and cut some notches in it, and then it's more variable. Now, if you want to learn to turn on spindle turnings, it's a good way to turn because you've got to have a sharp tool and you've got to have it orientated right, or this won't work. And once you get it done, it works. But
Gary?
Yes?
That was using a chainsaw file, not the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Just hold it steady. I can get a shot of that.
You don't want to start it. There is a joke about that, isn't it? Well, let's see if we can make some legs here.
Can't get it. No. Go ahead.
Somebody was kind enough to mark some marks on the bottom of this before I got here today.
Has anyone noticed the paint job on the lathe?
Looks great. Is this a new paint job?
New paint job. The Reverend
Brand new.
spent about 40 hours with a painter's brush, I guess.
Jeez.
1/4-inch brush, I think is what he used.
Thought somebody washed it.
Okay, so now we got a tool rest, and I really like a nice smooth tool rest. You know, if you don't have a tool rest, how can you make a spindle that's smooth? I can't do that. It just, and I cut a little bit below center on the rough and gouge. And this is where I really wear a helmet most of the time. This is, you got a piece of sycamore that's got a little wind shank in it, she's going to come apart right here. Yeah. Again, I like to have my tool rest here. How long should we make it? Again, I like to use my body. You're better at doing this than you are this, especially if you're pushing. About smooth. Okay, just the right size. So let's figure out what that is. And I might cheat here a little bit and say, let's see what that size is. Oh, good. It's medium. we need to put a tenon on there, right? How do you put a tenon on? There's multi ways of doing a tenon. I like these. And so what I normally do...
What is that, Gary?
That is a copper plumbing fitting.
Hold it up for Mike on the camera.
And you can make them however long you want to make them. If you want a 1-inch tenon,
I see.
cut it a 1-inch length. Just stick it on in your skew, cut it, you know. So these are brass fittings. They come in 3/4, half, 5/8, 1, 1 1/4, inside diameter. And that's what you want the outside of your tenon. So I normally put one of these on my one-way center, just leave it on there. And this is where you could get your 1-inch wrench out and do it, but this is kind of a chippy wood, I think, so. And this is where you guys that are intimidated by a skew need to get over it. It really helps if you just get out and, now this may be measured, I'm not really sure, but that's about how deep that hole is right there.
Do you actually use that inch wrench as a tool or as a gauge?
Tool. Both.
Okay.
Both. I'll do one. So this is, you know, we maybe make it about, that's pretty close. And I like, you know, with a skew, there's nothing that cuts fiber better than a skew. You can't beat it. First tool is out there, and it's still one of the best. And then with a tuning cut, this is where you always screw up here in front of people, you know. But if you don't cut that fiber clean, you can't make a good shoulder with it. Yeah, this is pretty chippy. See, with just having that, you don't have to take that on and off. Now, I could get a set of calipers and do that, but that'd be major. Gorilla Glue coming up. This is where it really helps to practice with a skew. But I'm not the best at it. But it's really hard to cut that fiber as smooth with anything else. So there we got our tenon and our shoulder. Let's see how close we got it. A little on the loose side. Uh-oh. Oh well. A little aggressive. And then it's time to be, you know, however you want to do this part. This is where the seat's kind of a seat, but the legs is where the individuality comes in, and you can put your own spin on things. I like to do, let me get over here. We can pass this one around. You can spend as much time on that as you want, or you can just shoot from the hip. You know, this is a stool. It's got a decoration, and I got one here, and one down here, one over here. You know, if you don't measure, just purposely push it off so somebody's, well, he had to have done that on purpose. You know? So, that's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum.
Nobody can be that far.
Right, exactly. Just make them go guess. So let's just make them, for the sake of time here. Just right. We got a few knots in here that may come out. We'll trim it up. We're not going to sand in here, so. Or literally, you can just go out to the wood pile and get you a chunk of wood, go out and make a stool, and you can do that in an evening. So, there's one leg. Now the important thing is when you get done, there are also all kind of devices. There's one across here, you can put this up to measure. Best thing is put it over here where you can't see it when you do the next one. Makes it more interesting that way. Humpty Dumpty there because I was doing my arms. You notice that? Got away from my body movement. And I think that's perfect. So if we do the same length here, you know, you don't even have to have the top of that. You know, top of that leg, nobody will ever see. And we can do this. Oh, how come I didn't put it in my small phone? We can do that with the detail gouge. There's a lot of different ways of making tendons, and you know, whatever floats your boat, so to speak. Sharpened up here. It's an inch between there. I kind of bevel this back a little bit. One inch. You don't want to be very aggressive. It's important to make sure you have it right up and down. Jump out of there.